analytics. So we'll understand, is there any difference between them? What is the difference between them? How do we conclude which is better for us? Which tool should we be using according to your requirements? So we'll have again an introduction of Spotfire. What actually does Spotfire do? What are the variants of Spotfire? In Spotfire also we have number of products. So the widely used are the Spotfire Desktop Professional or Analytics. It's one and the same thing. Spotfire Server and Spotfire Web Player. So Spotfire Web Player is something which is mandatory. So the whole Spotfire product family and Spotfire features. So when we start, so we'll see that what is business intelligence. Business intelligence is a stream where your data is your main part, and it gives you a firm decision and says that, okay, this is good for you and this is not good for you. So it's BI versus BA. So people actually get a lot of confused between what is business analytics, what is business intelligence, and this they think that there are two different streams, but they are not two different streams. This is only one stream. It's just the algorithms which differ, and there is a very thin line of difference between these two. So what is business intelligence? Business intelligence is the data available to organizations to make factually based business decisions. Business intelligence has its own streams, own set of algorithms which are different from business analytics. So we have a data available which helps in our organization to make factually based business decisions. Business intelligence is sort of a stream which actually gives you a decision. So it generally includes developing key performance indicators. The short form which is widely used is KPIs, the trending analysis, predictive modeling, and dashboards. Another way of saying is it analyzes the raw data of an organization to support decision-making process. So actually what happens is business analytics, it helps you in understanding that what is happening in your business for visibility. Predictive analysis is always a part of any kind of business intelligence or business analytics, because without predictive analysis, any kind of analysis what you are doing holds no sense for you. Because if you even analyze what's happening in your past, you need something to support that, is this good for your future, or you need some kind of data, some kind of theory, some kind of algorithm to explain that this is good for your future, this is what you're doing in present, and this is what you have done in present. So predictive analysis, predictive modeling is always there. So business intelligence is a stream which helps in understanding what is happening in your business, and it gives you facts and algorithm to support your decision. So it traditionally focuses on using a consistent set of metrics to measure past performance and guide business planning. Business intelligence consists of querying, reporting, OLAP, online analytic processing, and can answer questions including what happened, how many, and how often. So this is traditionally the business intelligence uses metrics. Metrics means your algorithm, your statistical analysis, your visual analytics to measure that how good have you done in past, how bad you were, or you were average, and it gives you a whole set of business plan to see that if you were bad, how good can you do it? If you were already doing good, how can you support your future plans? So it answers questions including that what happened, what actually happened in your business, how many means like how many customers did you have, for example, how many products did you sell, how often, in this sense you can say that okay, this product I was not able to sell more, but how often, in which quarter I was not able to sell, is there something seasonal related to this product? So these kind of questions are answered using business intelligence. Business analytics. So we'll see. Okay, so actually when it comes to business intelligence and business analytics, there's a very thin line of difference between them. So the major difference between them is the business analytics does not do the business decision making part. It actually helps you in making a decision. It will never give you a guided planning decision or a guided plan or something of that kind which will make a decision for you. No. Business analytics is something which will analyze the whole process for you, which will give you a fair idea. This is what is happening, this is what can be done or something, but it will never give you a decision. So business analytics is, it uses analytical methods either manually or automatically to derive relationships from data. So analytic methods in this sense, you can even use Excel. For small business, people actually go much for Excel. Like I have a small shop, so I won't go for these kind of tools because it makes no sense. I'm just a single shop. But when it comes to large businesses, very large businesses, so we actually see these kind of tools because handling of so much of data is not possible manually. But analytic methods are there manually or automatically, so that you can see what kind of relationships can be formed within data. You can use quantitative data for predictive modeling and forecasting. You have lot number of tools for doing predictive and for forecasting the future. For example, the best example for forecasting is your weather forecasting. Your MET department always does a forecast. If you have opened any kind of sites, you can see the forecasting done for 2 months, 3 months even you can see. But that does not make sense that if it does not hold that whatever temperature they have written, it's gonna be the same temperature. But yes, there are some facts, there are some algorithms which help you in deriving that, okay, if this is kind of the temperature going on now, so this will be there tomorrow. According to the whole data, they see that what kind of cloud formation is there, are there any tides going on. So these are some of the things which they consider before doing a forecasting. So why is it happening? What will likely happen in future? This is all business analytics. So if you see that business intelligence was all about what has happened, but business analytics is about that why is this happening and what will likely happen in future. We start with BI because we see that what has happened. We do diagnostic analytics, which means why. That why is this happening? If we are in loss, why are we in loss? Predictive analytics. So this will happen based on the current scenario. Descriptive analytics, next best action. So this is your next best action. So you actually start with business intelligence and you end up using business analytics. So they work in a combination. It's not that with business intelligence you can survive, and it's not that without business intelligence you cannot survive. So it's a whole lot of process, because we actually need to understand that why is this happening, or what was happening. And when you come to analytics, it will answer you that why is this happening, and you need a forecast as well. So basically analytics is the same as BI because we use the data. It's just the kind of questions we answer, they're slightly different from business intelligence. So the main difference is business analytics is the heart of business intelligence. That does not include the actual business decision making, but the steps that lead up to the decision. So as I said that for understanding what has happened, it's business intelligence, but to give a forecast or to give a guidance or to have a whole sort of flow diagram, you can say a process which helps you in making a good decision, then have to go for business analytics. Statistics, as we discussed in the demo session, that statistics is a very it's actually not boring, it's not appealing at all, because it will involve a lot of effort from your side to understand that, okay, this is the data, like for example for Mega Mart store. So you need to see that this product was sold on this day, and for example I give you this file and I say that please identify that in which products are more female interested and which products are more male interested, and how is it varying? Is it varying according to some quarters? Is it varying according to some seasons? Or is it varying according to the cities I'm selling the products? So from this thing, it's like difficult to make out. You'll have to put filters, you'll have to use formulas to give me some complete information. But when it comes to analytics or the visualizations, you can see that it's very easy to show. And in Spotfire, like we are discussing about Spotfire here. So Spotfire, loading data into Spotfire is not a big job. It's very easy. If you have a little bit of knowledge of database, it's again it's too easy. And even if you don't have any knowledge of database, Spotfire forms your own queries for you. You just need to understand that how that whole thing works. You need to just understand that what exactly is your requirement, and it will give you. And now with Spotfire 7.0, we even have that recommended visualization features, so that it even gives you recommendations that according to your data, according to the filters you have, according to your requirement, that these are the recommended visualizations. Again, decision is yours, but it even helps you in showing your time when you are confused. Spotfire even gives you ideas that this is how you can do. So what is Tibco Spotfire? So as I said, that Tibco Spotfire is a product of Tibco, which was actually not started by Tibco. It was bought by Tibco in 2007. But yes, after that, like from 2007 till 2016, they have come a long way, and it holds a very strong position in market. Especially in US, it is a very good tool. So, and it has a lot of market there. So yes, so Tibco Spotfire is an analytics tool which has kind of visualization, which even has statistics inbuilt, and now they have all kind of servers inbuilt, so you don't have to go and install servers yourself separately for any kind of statistics thing. So we'll see some of the features here. So Tibco Spotfire is like data visualization and analytics software, helps you quickly uncover insights for better decision making. So it has a number of visualizations which are inbuilt. Mainly, it has all the visualizations which can be built. But still, if you think that you need a visualization or you need to customize the visualization yourself, you'll have to learn a little bit of scripting. But yes, again, you can do the customization part in Spotfire itself. And for the inbuilt script, like you can write JavaScript, you can write Iron Python, you can write R. It has its own editor. So you don't have to like have your own editor or some kind of server or some kind of UI. No, it has its own editor. You just write it. But yeah, maybe you'll not be able to debug it as the way you can debug it in other editors. So it generates and shares critical insights from data that drive real business value. Analyze and explore data with intuitive interactive visualizations in real time. By real time, it means that the moment you load your data into a database, or while you are loading your data into database, you can simultaneously have a refresh in Spotfire and see that how the data is behaving. You can even limit your data, like for example, I have logs. Like currently what I'm doing is I have logs coming in from different systems, from different engines, and I need to see the data only for last 2 hours, because when you have logs, you have huge logs. So I just need to see that what is happening in last 2 hours. So you can even limit that thing to last 2 hours. So by intuitive, it means that giving user more control so that you can play around very well and see how the whole thing is behaving. Turn data into knowledge experience, different ways to visualize data. So it means that like when you build your own application in Spotfire, when you build your own reports in Spotfire, so you'll understand that how easy this whole process is, and how knowledgeable it is. That at times we tend to overlook very small things, and when it's shown in Spotfire with the help of visualization, it shows you that even the tiniest form of data matters and how it can make a difference. Focus on what matters, emphasize the important ideas in the data. Communicate with precision, share complex thoughts with clarity. So with Spotfire, you can make kind of a guided analysis. Like I say that I'm building it for a college, for example. I say that I start uh, with the highest authority and I lead to the smallest authority in the college. So it's kind of a tree-like structure, where when I form a tree, you can easily understand, okay, this is principal, these many departments are there, these many professors are there, these many classes is there, this is their timetable. So this kind of a thing when you make in Spotfire, it helps a layman like you or like me to understand without having the knowledge of the background system. It helps in understanding how this whole process is running. Provides incredible speed and flexibility. As I said, that loading data in Spotfire is very easy. You can have millions and millions of data and it won't affect its speed. Sharing export capabilities. So whenever you share your reports with business, what happens is they are always interested in seeing the data first in Excel and then in visualizations. So this is kind of request you will receive often, but in WebPlayer the feature is already there. So they can download the whole data. They can download the data only for the visualization they are seeing in any format. It can save it into any format. So this is, as I said, that Spotfire was bought by Tibco in 2007. So yes, so you can see that these are some of the visualizations. The visualization on the left is a heat map. Heat map like is generally used when you have lots and lots of data and you just need to see how the data is changing, uh, because with heat map you won't have some you won't have some labels or something. So it actually shows you that how the data is varying throughout the whole process. On your right hand side, you can see the bar charts, which shows you that uh, bar charts are the default visualizations whenever you open your data. So bar chart is the default visualization, and they are the easiest visualization. And I find them actually they are my personal best because it helps you in giving a very good insight into data. It's very easy to understand, and they're the most widely used visualizations. And the last one is a table, which is used very less because it's kind of an Excel table. But yes, you use it when you use the details visualization because then it limits the data to some rows. Like I have thousands of data, and when I mark, maybe they can be some 10 rows. So at that time, these tables prove useful. These are the scatter plots. So these scatter plots are widely used whenever you're doing some statistics. If you're interested in showing some kind of graph, some kind of correlations between the data, and you need to see that how it is scattered, you need to see in 3D perspective. So these formulas for them are inbuilt. It's just you need to see that how you can use the scatter plot, and the scatter plots can be converted into a line chart as well. We'll see like when we go forward for this. Again, these are bar charts. So you have combination charts, bar charts, which look exactly the same. So the above one is a combination chart, and you can see the like the table now. Now the table is showing only one data. So tables are used when where you're doing a drill down in your visualizations. So these visualizations are just shown so that it keeps the excitement further. When so it keeps you excited for the next session so that when you come, you'll have to do it yourself. So this is a tree chart. Tree chart helps you in forming a tree-like structure. So tree structure is nothing the data structure tree structure which we have studied in college. So you can see the magic of Spotfire. If you see that this side, when I reduced the order date, the whole visualization changed. Now, if I mark something, so only that data will be shown in the other visualization. So this means on a page, you can make your all visualizations dependent on each other. You can make all the visualizations dependent on only on one visualizations. And like this is a single page. So if I have 10 pages, you can even interlink all the 10 pages together. So with this, what do we achieve? Because whenever you build a report, you should have a guided analysis. By guided analysis, we mean that if I'm selecting something or if I want to see data only for one thing, it should show me that, or it should guide me as to what is happening in the whole process. It should not be some way that whenever I have to see a report, I should have some technician or some kind of an expert sitting next to me, then only I can understand this thing. So this way, it, but this way by giving the user more control, by making it more intuitive, we help in a layman also achieving this thing, understanding the reports. Okay, so what does Spotfire do? So Spotfire basically turns your data into insight or actionable site research. So these are some of the features. So it has data discovery and visualization. By data discovery, it's nothing but loading the data in Spotfire and uh, showing them with the help of visualizations, dashboards, and analytic apps. Dashboard means the what kind of reports it creates. The page which you see, it's called as a report. It's called as a dashboard as well. Analytic apps, see, as the whole world is moving towards mobile, even Spotify has the support for mobile. It has the support as of now only for iPad. If you want to show your reports onto Android, you'll have to do a little bit UI part for yourself, and otherwise reports can be loaded. So predictive analytics, as we said, that's forecasting, showing the future as well. Advanced collaboration tools. Collaboration tools is we have a collaboration panel, we have lists, bookmarks, tags. So these are the things which will limit the data or which will show the data only of your interest. Whenever like you logged in today, you think that this is the data of your interest, you can bookmark it. You can even list the data, you can tag that thing. So whenever you come next time, you'll have that thing for you. You can make it, you can keep it to yourself, you can make it public as well. So location analytics. Location analytics is the GIS part where we show the data on maps. On maps, it's as I said that it's not as good as Google Maps, but it's actually very good. It's very interactive. You can show the real-time data. You can show the driving distances. You can show the point-to-point distances between cities, between different stores in a cities. So it's data discovery and visualization. Instantly visualize, interact with, and share data to spot the buried opportunities and risks nobody else can see. As I said, that at times we tend to overlook the tiniest form of data we see. We think that okay, if we overlook this part, it won't affect you. But when you work on an analytics tool, it will for the analytics tool, the tiniest form of data matters, and it will help you in understanding that if you're not looking at, so this is the difference it can make to you. Fastest to actionable insight. By fastest to actionable insight, the moment you load data, you have visualizations for you, so a better understanding. Manipulate data with ease. At times the data is very raw, it's unstructured, and you need a sort of manipulation. Like when you store in database, now you have a generic structure for your database. So what you're doing is you're storing everything into a string format, but I need it into integer when I'm actually using. I'm doing some kind of calculations in Spotify, so I need it into a form of integer. So these small manipulations can be done. Even the hardest manipulations can be done, but we prefer doing it in the database so that it does not slow down the whole process. Higher productivity and exceptional results. Spotify's visualization-based system is win-win for all who want to find new opportunities that are visually presented in endless combinations. As I said, that Spotify supports major visualizations in a form that all the visualizations which are present in other tools we have in Spotify. So it's a win-win for all in the sense that you don't have to do a customization yourself. Very less people are there who would say that I want to customize the visualization, because in the visualization you have all kind of features there. Dashboards and analytics apps. They bring insight to everyone by giving your data a voice that projects a clear message and encourages data mining to the knowledge workers. By this we mean that whenever we build a dashboard, it's your actually this is some kind of human intelligence that you show the data which will give you a clear message, and you tend to overlook the data which do not make any sense. So you can even remove it, you can keep it there and not show it. So it creates in minutes, share in seconds. Operational dashboards and analytic applications with Spotify's interactive dashboards and apps. Published directly to tablets or desktops through a zero footprint web client. So in web when we work on other tools, it's kind of a deployment process. So there's no deployment process in Spotfire. It's just you have to go and save it onto the server, and A link will be formed for you, which you can share across. Predictive analytics. So, anticipate what's next with Spotfires powerful predictive analytics. Quickly discover what you need to do to improve customer satisfaction and gain competitive advantage. So it means that now you have a customer who says that, like for them you are predicting, so you need to have some kind of an edge on your tool, some kind of edge your side, so that whenever you show them your dashboard, you say that this is first, this is your future. Now, this is actually what is business interested in basically. So, anticipate emerging trends, take preemptive action to minimize risk and make better decisions with much greater confidence. At times what happens is in some kind of organizations, if some kind of fraud is also going on, they won't understand that whole process. So to minimize the risk, to understand that what kind of risk are we going on and what kind of frauds we are going on. So this is where you can make a good decision and help in identifying those things and reduce them, minimize them, or stop them. So Tibco Enterprise Runtime for R or S Plus are using Spotfires predictive modeling tools to create new predictive models. So these are the statistical languages you need to know to do this predictive modeling. But the engines, as I said, are integrated within Spotfire now. Advanced collaboration tool. So collaborate in context to accelerate more informed and transparent decisions. Spotfire's contextual collaboration capabilities uniquely support natural decision-making process from spontaneous and free from brainstorming all the way to decisions made within a formalized workflow to a new level in social analytics. So collaboration tools, by I said that you have lists, bookmarks, tags, all these things are there in place. Just click them and mark your data there and keep it. So you can even share it in a collaboration tool. You can have different URLs for yourself. Like I say that for this dashboard, I need this URL to be hit. So that whole thing is possible. Capture and socialize moments of insight, ideas, and hypotheses with peers. So if you even want to go share your like I opened the report for the first time. I made some kind of analysis out of it. From the analysis, I made a kind of analysis which may be useful for my team. So I've kept off bookmarks the whole thing. Now you can go ahead and share your bookmarks with everybody. You can share them in data. You can store them in database so that everybody can see it from there. Location-based analytics. So location-based analytics is the GIS. So Tibco Analytics, cloud-based mapping solution for custom, private, and public applications. So Tibco Spotfire uses the OpenStreetMaps for this GIS part. Location-based user experience to e-commerce and analytic applications. When it comes to e-commerce, so they basically cover the whole world for you. So you need to understand that how is your site going through the whole, going through the different countries, within countries, different cities. Now you narrow down into cities and villages further. Development of geospatial applications and mapping capabilities for customized enterprise solutions. When you use it, actually you'll understand these basic terms, that how do we use a map, how do we configure a map to show only the data for a particular city, not for the whole country. So these all things, when you do configurations, you'll understand. And by configurations, I don't mean that you have lengthy files. It's a very simple process. High performance, cloud-based, scalable technology, access to its own APIs and web services. So it's the whole inbuilt process for you. It's using a tool. These are the variants of Spotfire. Basically, when an individual level, even when at an organization level, you use Spotfire Desktop, which is also known as Spotfire Professional or Analytics, and you use Spotfire Server and a web player. So these three things you use for at an organization level. We'll see some of the variants for Spotfire. Spotfire Desktop. So this is the analytics for the individual. With Spotfire Desktop data analytics software, you build dashboards and analyze data on your PC. Spotfire Cloud, it's the cloud-based analytics for your team. if you are actually into this cloud and this big data thing, so there only this cloud comes into picture. With Spotfire Cloud Analytics, you build dashboards, analyze data, and share analysis with your team on the cloud. Spotfire Platform. This is the analytics for your organization. With Spotfire Platform, you create everything from dashboards to custom big data analytics applications for your organization. We'll see them in little detail. So we have these features, like these features will be discussed for the other two things as well. So data access. With Spotfire Desktop, you can access files and database from your PC. You can even access it from the multiple sources, and you can even mash up. By mash up, you mean that if the data is coming from 3 different sources and you're not able to combine it before handing it over to the Spotfire, you can combine it or do kind of a mashup in a Spotfire. Data visualization. Use data visualization tools to build dashboard and analytics application. Analysis. Data analytic tools to visually explore and analyze data. Build powerful custom groupings of your data. As I said, by groupings it means you have created lists, you have grouped the data, and you want to show it into only on those groups. Run statistical models locally on your PC. You can even run it on your server. Sharing and presenting data. Export your findings to Excel, PPT, and PDF. We don't have any kind of advanced customizations. Spotfire Cloud. For data access, it can access files and database from your PC, mash up data from multiple sources. Data visualization. Actually, data visualization is throughout same. It does not vary from any products. The visualizations, whatever we have in your local, they are the same in the other variants as well. So data analysis, data analytics tools to visually explore and analyze data, build powerful custom groupings of your data. So in sharing, when you come to cloud, we have an extra features. You can share privately with your group or publish it to the internet. Otherwise, you can export your findings to Excel, PPT, and PDF. We don't have any kind of advanced customization here. Spotfire Platform. So it can access files, databases, web services, and APIs from the PC or the server, match up data from multiple sources. Visualizations. Again, visualizations are the same. Data analysis, data analytic tools to visually explore and analyze data, build powerful custom groupings of your data, run enterprise scale statistical models. Sharing and presenting data, export or share any way you want. Share your findings securely with customers, partners, and your organizations. Advanced customization. Customize security, data connectivity, and automation for your environment. It means at times what happens is when you're running Spotfire for your own organization or for the other organizations, there's a kind of a thing that you don't want to refresh the reports as and when the data is loaded. So what happens is, like, the data is loaded into your during night time, and you want the reports to be automated at that time. So these things come into picture in there. Spotfire featured product family. We have Analyst, also known as Spotfire Professional, also known as Spotfire Desktop. It's a fully featured client to work with analysis. Browser-based clients, consumer or business authors. Web player server connects to Spotfire server, and we have a Spotfire server. So Spotfire even makes statistician better because they don't have to write the formulas for these things. So these are some of the formulas which have been integrated into Spotfire, and these are the formulas which are widely used across. And there are other formulas like which come into picture when you use a TER engine. TER engine is slightly different from the R. Like TER is separately which is built only for Spotfire, and R is a language which already exists and we have just incorporated into Spotfire. So comparison, correlation, regression, classification, similarity, clustering, outlier detection, curve fitting, and smoothing. We'll discuss these formulas in detail when you actually build a visualization. So visualization. So visualizations are the key to analyzing data in Spotfire. Variety of Variety of types supported. So we have tables, cross tables, bar charts, line charts, combination charts, pie charts, scatter plots, 3D scatter plots, map charts, tree maps, heat maps, parallel coordinate plots, summary tables, and box plots. So these are some of the visualizations which are supported in Spotfire. As earlier said a lot number of times, you have a feature to even customize that, and these visualizations are different from each other. So the features, whatever you see onto every visualization is different. So you need to understand every visualization in detail so that whenever a use case come across to you, are in Spotify it says KPIs, key performance indicators. So when they come across to you, you are able to make a decision that this should be the best. At times when you work like in projects in your organization, the client comes up with his own visualization. He normally tells you that this is the visualization I want to see. But if it's not given, you should understand these things in details to make a decision. Data input sources. So what kind of input sources or from what kind of sources you can take data? Presently, you can take data from any source. The inbuilt sources are SQL and Oracle. For that, you do not need to make any kind of external configurations or Excel files. But if you have any other data source apart from that, you have to make some kind of configuration settings for that, and then you'll be able to connect. And for that configuration settings, whenever you download the connector or when you have the connector in your place, they give a detailed PDF along with it, which states what needs to be done. So it's not a very lengthy process, but yes, 10 to 15 minutes of yours it will take. So data tables are information blocks from external sources that can be loaded using Microsoft Excel files, comma separated files, TXT files, Microsoft Excel's databases files. You can even copy paste it. Database tables, big data, Hadoop, Cloudera, Hortonworks. See, for Excel's CSV, TXT for copy paste, for these database tables, you don't need to make any kind of configuration settings. For any other source, you need to make extra settings onto your system, onto your server, so that that data source is visible. Marking data. So marking data is a feature of Spotfire, which is a very good feature of Spotfire. By marking data, you can make your visualizations interrelated to each other. You can mark data on a visualization. You can even say that if you don't want, like I have my visualization in blue color, for example. So I want to say that whenever I mark data, it should be visible in different colors so that it's highlighted. So you have that feature, and it's an optional feature. It's not that you'll always have it for the, at times we don't need it, because what happens is when you mark the data, it becomes actually little darker and the others become light. So those things are taken care by Spotfire itself. So it means, what does marking data means? It means selection over the visualizations. Markings are represented in colors. They can be represented in different colors or in the same colors. It helps identify the marked rows in the underlying data table. DoD window is by default there, but if you can even close it, because at times these DoD windows take up maximum space on your page. So on replay, whenever you go, you can have the DoD window whenever it is required and close it. So, optionally creates details visualization. Optionally by means if you have configured, it will create. If you have not configured, it will not create. Filtering, copying or deleting data. If there are multiple unrelated data tables, different markings would be useful. At times when we load data from different sources, they are not interrelated, but we have KPIs built onto that. So at that time, it is preferred to use different visualization or different markings, so that the selection in a single visualization is not getting affected onto the other visualizations. If the data tables are related, single marking would be ideal. So it's actually your decision at the end, your KPI, how you have to show it. Filters. So what are filters? Filters are basically nothing like, by default, filters are formed for every column you load it into your Spotfire. So uh, even this is an option if you want, sorry, if you want to go ahead and create it manually, you can do it, but by default they're created for every column. Even the filter panel is shown by default whenever you create a visualization or whenever you open a new page and load data. So you can close that filter panel, you can even customize the filter panel, and you have different kinds of filters, so even that can be configured. So uh, filters, they provide a flexible approach to limit data shown in visualizations and calculations. Each column in the data table is automatically represented in a filter panel. Variety of types supported and types are interchangeable. Uh, Spotify uses its own kind of intelligence and forms a filter for every kind of a column, and it may not suit you, it may not be your favorite one, so you can always go ahead and configure it for your, like, what happens is at times it forms text filter for everything. And text filters are not good because for text filter you need to have a prior understanding of the data. You need to understand how is the data stored and what is the name for this data. So at times they are not useful. So these are some kind of the filters like range filter, item filter, radio button, checkbox, text filter, list box, hierarchy filter, represents listed level of identifiers in an expandable tree structure. And you have the this year, quarter, month, week scenario. This is formed for every column which is into the form of which is in date format. So it's useful in geographical data where you need to show continents, countries, and cities. So you can see the various types of filters. See, this is the item filter, the first filter. Item filter is generally shown when your data is like a numerical form of data. Like it's shown for age range now. It's easy to slide and you don't need the list box filter or the other filter because you can easily navigate through it. Radio button filter, when you have a column which states these are the age ranges, so that you can select one, none, or all. So this is possible. For age range, you can even have a checkbox filter. For example, you want to study the data for out of 10 ranges for 2 ranges. So this is the text filter, as I was saying. For text filter, you need to have a prior understanding of the data, which is not possible because the other person may not be knowing that what kind of data you have. Range filters, this is again for numerical range. List box filter, this is my personal favorite because it lists all the data and now you can just easily scroll down and see what kind of data you have. You need to filter it out or you don't need to filter it out. So date range filter, it automatically gives you a calendar which is inbuilt for it, and the hierarchy filter. So this is used when you have data for years, for quarters, for months. So this is useful when. So as you can see on the right hand side below, so for example, I have marked data. By default, it shows all the data. And now I have selected some of the data. It means I've filtered some of the data. So uh, when your filtering is done, when your understanding of the data is done, now you want the whole data to be shown again before you log off. So you don't have to go back and select everywhere all. Just click on reset all filter, right click and do a reset all filter, so all the data will come back again. Using filters, so you can see that now this is a visualization I have built and these are the filters I have configured according to my own use. When I'm changing the date filter, the whole data changes here. This is just a kind of an example I've given. So the various components in Spotfire are, this is the visualization, the colorful part, the diagrams part, whatever you see, these are known as the visualizations. This is the filter panel and this is the DOD window, the details on demand window. So this is the way it appears on Spotfire. You can always close your filter panel and details on demand panel so that it gives your visualizations more space. Linking to embedding and saving data. So this is the most important feature when you work with data. By linking to and embedding in analysis, we mean that whenever you load data from any source, from an external source, I mean like from Oracle, from SQL, when you load, So it's by default linked to the source. By linking to source means that your server is now linked to your Oracle database. So whenever any change is made to your Oracle, it will reflect in your Spotfire server. So it is kind of an interlinked system, which is preferred when you are working with real-time data. By embedded in analysis, we mean that it captures the last instance when you loaded the data. For example, when you work with Excel files, it's kind of an embedded data. So whenever you have made some kind of analysis and you want to share it with some person outside your organization who does not have access to your database, it's preferred you give him an embedded in analysis, because if you give him an embedded analysis, he'll be able to see the visualization, the data. But if you give him link to source and he does not have access to your system, he'll not be able to see any kind of data. The visualizations will be empty there. So there's a huge lot of difference when you work yourself, when you build visualizations, you'll understand that which is better for you. So saving means it is saved to Spotfire library or a file. Everything you do is saved onto Spotfire server. Sorry. Everything you do, the database sources you connect to, the information links. By information links, it means that how you're pulling data from your data sources, your analysis, whatever you're making, you can make a folder-like structure into your Spotfire library and save it there. So everything is a one-stop solution is the Spotfire server. For the web player also, you save it onto the web player server, and like whenever you save it onto the server, it will form a URL for you, and you can keep it that URL and share it across. So these three features, they are the very good features and very main points you need to understand about Spotfire before you proceed further. I'll show you, like when you install Spotfire, I'll show you that how it is actually done. Till then, like this is the theory part of Spotfire. Some of the basic features of Spotfire. Why was there a need of Spotfire? Who built it? And it was like bought by Tibco in 2007, as I said. So with this, like I'll conclude my first session. I hope you have a bit better understanding of intelligence, business intelligence, and analytics now.